Hi, I'm Salman Nafees and I make videos about Davinci Resolve. In this video, we're going to create the steam effect in which we're going to put in steam in a cup of coffee or anything. For this tutorial, we're going to jump into Fusion, and trust me, it's going to be an easy one because I'm going to go into the basics so that it's easy for you to follow. Let me show you these shots. This one is a moving shot. This one is a fixed shot. So let's start off with this shot and let's jump straight over to Fusion. So here we are in Fusion. We have media in, media out. Let's just bring in the fast noise node directly. So I'm just going to grab the fast noise node and I'm going to connect the output to the media in one, and it's going to create a merge node. And we have our fast noise. Now let's preview this fast noise alone in the left-hand viewer. So the first thing that I want to do is that I'm going to go to the inspector, and in the fast noise, let's increase the detail of it. So let's just make it something that looks more realistic, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to increase the scale a little bit so that it matches with the shot, perhaps somewhere like there. And now if we play it back, you can see that it is just a static noise. So nothing is moving. So for that, we'll have to increase the seeth rate, right? If we come over here and we increase the seeth rate a little bit, just like this, you can see that it is starting to look like steam and it is evolving over time. So that thing done, let's just create a mask for it so that it just stays here in this portion. For that, I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to bring in the polygon node, and I'm going to connect this polygon to the fast noise. Once it's connected, we cannot see the fast noise because we haven't selected anything. So let's just draw a rough shape around. I'm going to leave some space at the bottom because we're going to make the edges a little bit softer, just like this. And as soon as we close it, now we can see the steam coming out. And what we can do now is that we can increase the soft edge a little bit, just like this, so that it seems a bit more realistic. And I want to adjust this part of the mask, and I'm just going to click this button so that it doesn't create keyframes and it stays consistent. Let me just bring these points down a little bit, somewhere over here, so that it's not overlapping it. And once that's done, we can just play it forward and we can see that the steam is coming out. But the thing is that it should be going up. So for that, we're just going to create very simple 2 keyframes. So I'm going to go to the starting point, and at that point, I'm just going to go and select fast noise. And on the center, I'm going to put in a keyframe. And then I'm going to move to the end, and I'm going to move the Y position up so that it is moving over time. Just a little bit, perhaps, and let's just watch it. So it looks good, but I think let's make it a little more realistic by going back to the fast noise, and let's increase a little more detail in it. And perhaps we can reduce the brightness a little bit so that it seems more realistic. We can go a little more, just like this. Now, the problem might arise when we have a shot that is more like moving shot. So we'll have to add in the tracker in there. So let's just go back to the edit page. Take the example of this moving shot. Now, this is a log footage. If I turn off the colors, it seems like this. And because I want this whole clip to be colored after I apply the effect, the steam effect on it, because I want that to be gelled into the footage. So that's why I'm just going to come here and I'm just directly going to go to Fusion. This way, it is going to be colored after it is coming out of Fusion. If I wanted it to take the color grade with it to Fusion, I would have right-click in here and I would have created a new compound clip. But right now, let's go into Fusion. Now, the first thing that we want to do for this shot, which is a moving shot, is that we need to track it. So for that, I'm going to start off with the media in one selected, shift spacebar, and let's type in tracker. And let's add in the tracker. Let's find a point to track, something close to the cup and something which has a good contrast. So let me just select somewhere over here, perhaps. I think this is a good point with a good contrast. And once this is selected, I'm just going to open it up a little bit so that it has a better, tracking. And let's just select track forward. And we have got a good track, as you can see. Now let's just bring in the fast noise in here. So once we have the fast noise, let's just connect it to the foreground of the tracker, and let's just see the fast noise in the viewer 1. So now we cannot see the fast noise because in the tracker we need to go to the operations, and in the operations let's select match move, and now we've got that. Now the problem that's coming in is that because it is tracking, at some points it is not covering the whole of the screen. So for that, I'm going to select fast noise, shift spacebar, and let's type in transform, and let's add in a transform node, and let's just go to the point where it is losing the screen, and let's increase the size of it a little bit, and let's just watch it through so that it is, yes, we need to increase it a little bit more. So now we have this covering whole of the screen. So let's go to the fast noise again, and let's increase the detail of it a little bit, perhaps somewhere over here, and let's increase the scale a little bit. I think something like this would be more realistic. Because it is not moving, it seems fixed. What we're going to do is that let's make it evolve by increasing the seed rate a little bit. Just a little bit would be fine. And now we can see it evolving over time, and it is also tracked. Now I'll make a mask around the fast noise. So let's just bring in the polygon from here, and let's just connect this to the fast noise. And we are on the first frame. Let's just create a rough mask. And I want to change this, so I'm just gonna deselect this so that I can change it and it doesn't move over time. And let's increase the soft edge a little bit so that it is looking more realistic, just like this. And now let's make the fast noise a little bit more realistic. So let's go back to the fast noise, and let's reduce the brightness a little bit, just like this. We can also reduce the contrast so that it looks like proper steam. Let's just play it back. And now we can see that it is tracked properly. Now the only thing that you need to do to make it even more realistic is to go to the tracker and go to the operations, go to the settings and enable the motion blur. This way the motion blur is going to make it much more realistic while we play it back. And now the thing that is left is the steam going upwards. And for that, we'll go back to the fast noise. We'll come to the first frame, add in a keyframe at the center point, and we'll go to the end and we'll move the center point from the y-axis upwards a little bit, just like this. The more you move it away from the center, the faster it's gonna look. So let's just play it back. One more thing that we can do is go to the color and go to the color 2, and let's just change it to something that matches the colors in our scene. So I'm just gonna go for something like this perhaps, and let's just go back to the edit page. We can see that we have this cool thing tracked. I hope you like the video. Please consider subscribing because I'll be making more such videos in the coming weeks.